I'm sure you want 2024 to be the best year of your life. And if you really do, you'll listen to these 3 pieces of advice that will change your life forever. First thing is stop holding on to useless things that are dragging you down. There was a farmer who was working on his field and he looked to the sky and all of a sudden he sees a huge blue rock coming from the sky and falls on his field right next to him. He goes to observe it. He notices that this thing is frozen solid and it stinks. He didn't know what it was. He thought maybe it's a meteor, maybe it's from outer space. The guy took it, he wanted to preserve it, so he put it in his freezer. And then everyone who came to his house, he showed it to them and asked them, what do you think this thing is? It smells, it's frozen, it came from the sky. What could it be? Basically, this guy held on to this frozen blob for 20 years in his freezer, till one day he takes it out and shows it to a friend, and then it started to melt in this guy's hand. And then he examined it and he realized what it was. It was blue potty fluid from an airplane. It froze when it was up in the sky. The airplane released it and it just fell in this guy's yard. And basically he kept it in his freezer for 20 years because he thought it was some valuable meteor, but it ended up being blue potty fluid, right? So this guy realized that the same thing happens with us. Sometimes we have garbage that we put in a deep freeze. We store it somewhere within us, in our heart, in our minds, in our actions, in our belief systems, and we just hold on to it. And we think, wait, this thing must be valuable because it just fell into my yard. I don't know, my parents taught it to me, I learned it in school, my friends all do it. So there's certain pieces of garbage that are deposited into our minds, into our lives, and then we put it in a deep freeze and we think we have to hold on to it just because it fell into our yard, it fell into our life. And then it takes up space, it stinks, it smells horrible, and it looks disgusting, and it just wastes space and it brings us down. And many of the beliefs that we have, many of the ideologies we have, many of the habits we developed over the years are blue potty fluid. They're things that just need to be disposed of and they should never stick with us. And that's something we have to be very aware of going into the new year. If you want a new year, one thing that will make it a new year is if you get rid of all the old garbage. You can't come and say you want a new year, but you're gonna tow into that new year all the bad, negative beliefs, all the things that are working against you, all your habits that are horrible. You need to get rid of that potty fluid. You need to take it out of your deep freeze and just throw it into the garbage, because you have to realize that most of the beliefs that you have are not actually serving you, they're just weighing you down. So tip number 1, to start a new year, get rid of the old garbage. The second most important tip I want to talk to you about is believing in yourself and your ability to succeed. So there's a quote that I love from William James, the famous psychologist, and he said the following: "Our belief at the beginning of a doubtful undertaking is the one thing that ensures the successful outcome of your venture." Now pay attention. He didn't say the amount of talent you have, the willpower you have, the work ethic you have. All those things are not actually going to determine if you're successful. What actually will determine the rate of your success is the amount of belief you have in your ability to succeed. Think about it. If you don't think you have the ability to succeed, so why would you invest so much time and effort and ability? You don't even think you can do it. So then subconsciously, you're gonna be like, wait, if I don't really believe I could do it, so why would I waste my time investing so much effort into it? I'm not gonna succeed anyway. But if you are so convinced and you totally believe in your ability to get to where you need to get, to succeed in the venture, in your undertaking, so you're gonna put in your all, you're gonna do everything you need to do in order to get the job done, because you believe you're actually gonna cross the finish line. You believe you're actually gonna be able to perform. So the most important thing before you work on talent, before you give so much emphasis to willpower and work ethic, is first of all asking yourself, do I actually believe that I have the ability to cross the finish line, to succeed in what I'm doing, to actually do what I'm setting out to do? 2024, it's a new year. It's a time where we make new goals and resolutions. The thing that's going to determine whether we stick to it is not our abilities, not our physical abilities, not our competence. It's our belief in ourselves and in our ability to perform. So we have to go into the new year with a raised sense of self-belief. Believe in yourself, believe in your ability to perform, believe in your ability to succeed, and then the rest will take care of itself. because if you're so convinced you're going to be able to do it, you will find a way to surely make it and cross that finish line. Third and final tip for an amazing life-changing 2024 is your ability to deal with setbacks and failures. There's a story about a tennis champion named Pancho Gonzalez who won the championship for tennis, and one sports analyst explained what his secret to victory was. He said, there were other athletes that were better on the court, they had a better serve, they had better skills. So why did Pancho win the tournament? His explanation was as follows. He was never defeated by the discouraging vicissitudes of the game. And basically, in simple language, it means like this. Imagine you're a basketball player. You are the most talented guy on the court. You're the fastest, you're the smartest, you're the best. The problem is, we're not God, right? So you're gonna take a shot. Let's say you miss. What happens to you after you miss that shot? If you get bogged down, if you're like, oh my God, I missed the shot, what's gonna happen? Maybe I'm gonna have an off day. Maybe today's not my day. Maybe I'm not gonna be good today. If you take a shot and you miss, the way you react to that miss is going to determine whether or not your talent matters, whether or not your smarts matter, whether or not your ability matters. You have to realize that we will miss shots, and what is going to determine whether or not we are going to be successful at the end is our mindset and reaction to those missed shots. The basketball player that realizes, yeah, you know what? I missed a shot. Big deal. There's another shot that I could take, and I'll probably make that one. If he misses the shot and then right away doesn't get bogged down from missing the shot, but just continues playing the game without being defeated by the setbacks, he has a good mindset and he'll be able to take the next shot and probably make it. And even if he misses 5 shots in a row, it won't bring him down because his understanding is people miss shots. I just got to take the next one. So this is actually the most important thing in life. We talked about leaving the bad and bringing in the new. We talked about setting goals and having belief in yourself to be able to achieve those goals. But in reality, we aren't God. We're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna get setbacks. We're gonna fail along the way. And the question which will determine whether or not we actually cross the finish line is how are we gonna deal with those setbacks when they arise? How are we gonna deal with that temporary defeat when it enters our life? How are we gonna deal with the failures when they actually meet us? And the champions are the ones who deal with defeat and failure in the most positive way. So again, you could have a lot of talent, but if your mindset is off because you're getting drawn down from the failures and you're getting depressed because you fell down, you're not gonna get back up no matter how talented you are, and you're not gonna cross the finish line. So therefore, these 3 tips are the most important things you need to implement in your life in order to have an amazing 2024.